How you doing? Hope everybody's holidays were great. I am out here making some videos on my last day of being off. I get to go back to the office tomorrow. Today, I just want to give a summary about a newer running shoe brand called Swift Running. I had the opportunity to do a multi-reviewer review of the Swift Running Apus. It is a lightweight shoe. It has a hybrid carbon plate in it. Some quick specs. Sample size 9 in men's, weighs 8.1 ounces. My sample size 12 came in at 9.5 ounces, so it is a nice lightweight shoe. Stack height is 35 millimeter in the heel with a 12 millimeter drop. You do not see that very often anymore. The midsole is an ETPU pellet foam. I don't know if you can see that. Very similar foam to what you would find in the Saucony Ride series, the Saucony Triumph series, and the Adidas Adiboost series. The upper is an engineered woven jacquard. Not higher end, but there's a reason for that. But very lightweight, very breathable. The outsole, I did not have any specs on what actual type of material, but to me it is a softer type of rubber, which normally means good grip, and it's placed all the way around, so it provides good protection underfoot. The intention is for tempo runs, intervals, and mid-distance training, and the price right now on their website is $130. So what they are doing is going for a more budget-friendly running shoe for the consumer. They have a hybrid plate in it, carbon. Well, I'll get to it in midsole. Has a carbon infused plate in it. So what they're doing is going after basically people who are looking for that up-tempo trainer, more of a super shoe, but at a budget-friendly price point. So I will get into the upper, the outsole, midsole, and just my experience with the shoe. Okay, onto the upper. So the shoe does come with a fully gusseted tongue. You can see it comes through here. They have decent laces for a $130 shoe. I wouldn't expect anything different. They are kind of that stretchy material, which some of the reviewers in the multi-review, which I'll link below, had problems getting good lockdown. I did not have a problem with that with these laces. The tongue structure up here and the lace structure is kind of rigid. I don't know if you can see the right shoe here. It creates kind of a pocket. Now I noticed it walking around, but on the run I did not notice it. On the run it seems to form out a bit, but it is just something that I noticed that you have to kind of make sure that this is stretched out so that the tongue area doesn't fold in. Again, I didn't experience any problems on the run, but it's just something that if they get the next version, they might want to look at maybe loosening up this area and giving it a little bit of stretch so that it doesn't form that pocket, because it's pretty rigid down in here. It's an engineered mesh upper. Has nice breathability here. This probably isn't an upper you would want to run in if you're in very cold weather. However, I'm in Houston, Texas, and this upper did great for the temperature I am in. It is a fairly rigid heel cup, but no issues on there. It has a nice dip down here. Did not experience any ankle rub. It has a decent amount of padding, but it's not over padded. It's kind of the way I like it because I sweat a lot, and the more padding you have here, the more it takes up the sweat. I will say the fit up along here is tighter. The fit overall is snug, so it's built towards more of a racing style upper. If you're somebody with a higher volume foot, you may have issues with the shoe. So it's just something to keep in mind when you're looking at the shoe. That's about all I have for the upper. So, okay, on to the outsole. So as I noted in the beginning, it is pretty much a full coverage. I know it has the opening here. You can see into the carbon TPU fused plate and there, but it has nice coverage. The tread pattern is nice. I did not experience any slippage on the runs I was in. I did do some wet pavement running, a lot of dry pavement, some light off-road, dirt, grass, that type of thing. The shoe did great in all those conditions. Now, it is supposed to be a very durable rubber, according to Swift Running. I will say, at 50 miles, I have significant wear. Now, that is my normal wear point. I normally do not see this type of wear until over 200 miles. But because this shoe is a 12 mil drop, I think that might be exacerbating my wear pattern, because up here, I'm not showing any. So it's just something to keep in mind. If you are somebody who's used to running in a 12 mil drop or 10 mil drop, don't have wear like that normally, you probably don't have anything to worry about. This is kind of my normal wear, and I tend to get worse on the two extremes. If I go up to 12 mil drop or I go down to 0 drop, for some reason my mechanics just really wears out the outsole in those areas. So just something to keep in mind. But overall, the performance of the outsole is very good. I've had much worse rubbers as a material, but that's it. Again, I have no wear up here. It is all on my high wear point, so it may be more of a mechanical interference than a material issue, but worth noting anyways. So next, onto the okay, now the foam. Now, as I noted earlier, it is a beaded ATPU material. By hand, it has some nice spring to it. Honestly, when I first got these, I was very excited about it. Again, it is similar foam to what you find in the Saucony Rides, Saucony Triumphs. I have gotten along with those foams pretty well, as long as they keep the formulation up where I like it. This also has a hybrid carbon and TPU plate, as I pointed out in the last section. You can see it through there. Now, what I don't know is exactly where they have it. My hunch is it's following along kind of the line to where it's white and blue along here. My problem, or my wish, is that maybe they would have a different design. I think the way they have the plate in there, it actually takes some of the foam experience out. The foam feels like it would be very fun underfoot, but the plate seems to actually work against it, so it seems to flatten it out. Honestly, with this foam, I would love if Swift Running would just come out with a different version of a shoe, 6 to 8 mil drop. Give me a decent amount of this foam on there and no plate. Let me just see what this can do without a plate, because the foam feels nice. So it's with the 12 mil drop, the plate is really set up for good speed work. I know they set up tempo, which matches, but they also set long distance, which I would not do. But for up to 6, maybe 8 miles, you can definitely pick up the pace. That 12 mil drop really kicks you forward. And that is something else. This is a true 12 mil drop, in my opinion. When I have this underfoot, I feel the drop. It's not where you have a very soft foam here. So some shoes that have 10 mil drops, they make this very soft back. So when you land, it actually acts more like a 6 to 8 mil drop. This truly feels like a 12 mil drop. It feels like you have heels on when you're running, walking, and it's to just kick you through the cycle. So if you do not like that experience, I would consider a different shoe. They do have, I believe, an 8 mil shoe in their lineup. This is definitely a 12 mil, which is not my wheelhouse. Where I like to live. I like to live 6 to 8, maybe 5 to 8. I'll dip down, I'll dip up, but my comfort zone is 5 to 8. Okay, so some final thoughts. First of all, I think Swift Running did a very good job. This is the very first set of shoes that they've released. This is the first iteration of each model, specifically the Apus in this review. I think they did a really good job coming out of the gate for a first shoe. For $130, you get a nice breathable upper, you get a good foam, you get a gusseted tongue, you get a nice collar, you get a good outsole. If you're just getting into running and you're looking for a good speed shoe, this is something to consider. Now, of course, if you have the wider foot, I would maybe look elsewhere. If you do not like 12 mil, I would look elsewhere. But at $130, there's not a whole lot that'll directly compete with this, especially if you're looking for something with a plate in it. Now, if you're looking for something just as an up-tempo shoe, a good trainer around that $130 range, some other shoes you might want to look at is the Brooks Launch. I think they just came out with the version 12, version 11 and 12. Both look like very nice intro to running type of shoes. Adidas SL2 is a great shoe. It is probably in this range my top shoe. It's a fantastic running shoe. It weighs about 1 ounce heavier than this, so it is slightly heavier, but it doesn't have a plate in it. It has light strike foam in it. It is a super nice, bouncy, great training shoe. Another shoe that probably is underrated is the Trinusa series from Asics. It's $135. Also a very light shoe. It's just a great speed shoe. If you're looking at something like this, I would consider those shoes. Especially if you're looking for speed work, especially look at the Adidas SL2 and the Asics Trinusa. They do great. But anyway, Swift Running, solid entry into the running market. It's not an easy market to dip into. They're taking a unique angle. I really do hope over time they consider giving me some of this foam without a plate and a lower drop, because I think I would have fun on this, and maybe just give me a little more toe room. Other than that, hope your day is great. Go get some miles in. Enjoy.